So just gonna look at entries for this. For obviously Matt asked about doing a quick, some examples, but I figured I'd do a video. I'm only showing you like this sort of structure thing at the minute on this time frame, just for I think we've just broken possible 15-minute low. There is a possible that this is a 15-minute low because we maybe get high, low, high, and possibly trending down. So, but this is sort of what I'm working with at the minute. So we've possibly taken this 15-minute low, and then obviously down here we might be starting the pullback phase here. So if we'd have caught it, it's how far it would go, I don't know. It might pull all the way back up to somewhere in, say, here, or higher than that to tap in possible entry from this there to maybe continue down, but it's not what the video is about. I just want to show you that we're possibly in the pullback phase and we are trending downwards. So what I'll do is I'll just bar replay around here a minute. So obviously we've got a bit of a trend line sort of thing going on. It's not the cleanest, it's probably a better one somewhere, but it's just what I had marked up. We have a high here. So that's the high that causes the sweeps down here. And then obviously I've just bar replayed it just about, well, just past as it passes the high. So that's the change of character level there. So effectively a late should have, would have, or did go off at that point, depending on if you had it or didn't, or just for the purpose of the exercise. That this is about the point where you'd be checking your alert, you're going, yes, it's broken, it's done everything else I wanted, you had the trend line mark, things like blah blah blah. So basically from here I generally start on the 5-minute just to look at the sort of areas that would interest me on the 5-minute, and then I'll break it down, add and remove zones as I drop through the time frames in case I see something I like, or in case the zone gets worse and I decide I don't like it. So straight away would be maybe looking around here. We start to get a bit of volume. I'll leave it blue. Start to get a bit of volume in this candle here. There's obviously something here just above it. There's obviously this zone here. Obviously because if price has done what we want it with a break to the upside, the sweep of liquidity, this is purely looking for entry zones. So we would effectively be looking at finding entries. So this is what this is about. There's a nice down up candle here. So it'd be interesting looking at what's in that on the lower time frame. Also, you can even look at break block type stuff as well, which would be somewhere around that. I'm not going to actually mark that, but it lines up with the other box I've marked here, so maybe a dual confirmation. We'll drop down to the 1-minute, see what we can start to see. Obviously right down here we've got the wick extreme, looks real nice on the 1-minute. We also maybe could change the breaker block from this, so we've got, maybe this is the order breaker block there, here, obviously big push down, big push up, BPR in there, very powerful BPRs, mark that. So we've got BPR purple there. We can start to reduce these zones here, so a little bit of imbalance just in there. Also one here. Also I'm adding zones here because there's a bit of imbalance possibly in there. Some of these will get deleted as we drop down. This one up here I'm not really interested in. There's imbalances below it, there's stuff below it, so we'll remove as we see fit, obviously. Bit of imbalance there. Well, that's the order block. Again, drop down to the 15. So we can reduce that one in size. I'll leave that one about as it is. This one doesn't look great on there. I don't really see a significant push away from it. This one's not the best, but I'm going to leave it for now, just because it might change. There's a tiny bit of imbalance in here possibly, and I'd maybe add that one. I don't want to do that. Again, this one here is not the best. I'm going to leave it just for now. And then I'm going to just adjust that one very slightly. Again, I think that's lost its BPR, but there's a decent bit of imbalance there still. So alright, drop down to the 10. Doesn't change much for these top two. Don't change out on them. Does on here. This is now not imbalanced there for me, unless it shows on the 5 second or lower, but I'm going to delete that for now. I'll add it again if need be. Although I would be fairly drawn to this cluster of price action there, but it's not. I don't think I'd take an entry on it for the fact that there's not a violent push away. So I'm going to leave this one there, just because it looks okay-ish. And then we've got, I don't think I'd entertain that, so that would be gone. Again, not a decent push away. This here becomes a bit rubbish. There's obviously it's a decent enough-ish push away. I think that's the actual entry. Obviously I've seen where the entry comes from, so I know. So I'm trying to be as authentic as I sort of can be with it. Yeah, it's a decent push away. It's the very extreme, so it's the last imbalance sort of created. Leave it at that for now. Drop to the 5 again. So yeah, that one's still a decent enough candle. This one's a bit on the weak side. Obviously we're down to the 5 second now, so if I was looking to take an entry, I'd be really trying to reduce these zones, so not happy with that. This one's sort of a bit crappy now, so that'd be gone. Obviously this lower zone gets a bit shittier, but I know it's the right entry, so or it hits that sort of zone. So chances are I'd maybe sort of put my money on this top one up here, I guess. But nothing stands out amazingly, which is why I didn't actually put the trade on. So maybe there's a lesson in there, is if you're not fully happy with something that doesn't stand out, then you'll sort of like leave it. Maybe it's a bit of a superpower. Well, carrying looking on the 1 second, because I didn't actually look on the seconds myself, so very bitty and grainy. Yeah, it don't look fantastic. I'm sort of drawn to this though. I don't know what happens after that, but But yeah, that's sort of how I'd be breaking the trade down, as if I was trying to find the entry. Let's see what actually taps, see if it taps into. Yeah, hits that imbalance and bang on the middle. Yeah, that's about it. But you see how I'm breaking it down anyway. You want the best sort of entry to try and find. It's very difficult, in fact. But just as while I've got you on the video, obviously it has become the entry. Whatever's tapped in the entry there has created a trend line. So, like I said, this is why I think we're going to pull back into Summit and then sell off to take this trend line.